Welcome to Bruised but Not Broken Teatime, a show examining women of the Bible and the lessons applicable to women of today. Grab your favorite cup of tea and let the spilling begin. With panelist Veronica Wormley, Nina Rose, Jermeen Porter, and Tasha Clopton. And now welcome your host of Bruised but Not Broken Teatime, Virginia Adams.
Okay, Tasha. Rahab is a businesswoman in a world of narrow-minded men. She's done the hard work of laying the flax, hid the spies, and still today, she's judged by her past. What do you say to the Rahabs of today who are living with this situation and it seems their hard work of redemption is all for naught?
As I looked at the question, I'm like, was this in 2020? Because take a woman today who is about her business, who is doing her thing, and some insecure dude will call her out of her name, right? So it just makes me wonder, you know, in the case of the spies, they didn't know her from a can of paint, as they say. But sometimes people are intimidated by your uniqueness. We talked about Rahab being unique. And so sometimes people are intimidated because you're different, because you don't move the same way. So if this was a molested woman who turned to a life of sex work, whether she was actually performing or managing her crew, whatever, she was still a businesswoman. She still made linen. She still had something about her that made God say, okay, this is the daughter I'm using to execute this plan. And sometimes people are intimidated by that and they just call you out of your name. It happens all the time. You know, the more things change, the more they stay the same, right? Or there's nothing new under the sun.
Or they are upset about the fact that she did it better than they did.
Absolutely. You know, I always say that your action sometimes illuminates inaction. So here it is, you're doing what you're supposed to do. And it's showing somebody that, man, I should have been, and I'm not saying that about the spies in particular, but as a general rule, and we're talking about today's Rahab, when you're doing something, that's when people have something to do. I always used to tell my students, you know, when things come up, I'm like, if they were minding their business, they wouldn't have time to watch you. So you've already won.
All right.
That instance of the opposite sex saying, who does she think she is doing this now? Because who taught her how to do that? She taught herself. This is what she learned growing up. So she took what she learned from the people she learned it from, whether it was good or bad, and she took it and she used it. Let me build my business. Let me build my empire. Your walk is not hers, right? So what she was given, she used. You was given something else, and that's what you chose to do. So she was able to learn how to do it differently, and I won't say unfortunately, but fortunately better than you. So now you're upset, you don't know how to handle it, so you're gonna drag her through the mud to say all these different things of what she is, all because she did it better than you did.
Yeah, and you have to remember, you know, no shade to anybody, but the times that this happened, you cannot exclude that there was complete misogyny. So how dare you be a woman who's intelligent and doing what you listen, now you know that turns into a whole third show. I'll move on quickly, but
still
absolutely there was a little bit of hate. Right. That's what I'm saying. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
But you got to think about this too. What she was frowned upon is what attracted her to the spies. Because if they was wandering for 40 years, and by the time they finished wandering for 40 years, when Joshua sent those two spies to Jericho, they came straight to her.
That's right.
Why? Because they were able to see an open door. She, accordingly, from what I was reading, she had men coming in and out and they thought they can blend in.
Yes.
That was not the case. Although they can blend in, someone still came to her door and say, I need those men to come out because they saw who went in there. So what somebody judged may be what attract God's, attention to you, because by her being chosen out of everybody in Jericho, her house was chosen. The spies went to her. She decided at that point in time, this is my way out for my family. So she had hope. And by helping them, they helped her. When they came back and took over the city of Jericho just by what? They marched around 7 times and yelled.
Yes.
And the walls fell down just by that voice. So out of all of that, and they came back, everybody was destroyed just by that one action of them yelling, except for her and her family. So what protected her was basically what had her in the streets is what protected her. Her past covered her. Because within that path of realizing who she was, I got men running in and out. Come this way. She thought she could hide. She still was helping people in the position she was in. And that position of helping people, which hid the men, is what protected her and saved her and her whole family life.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So hey, sometimes I would tell that Rahab, the present day Rahab, don't be ashamed. What you're doing one day is going to be part of what God glorifies for you, because it's going to be that part that get whitewashed, that part that shows that shine that comes off you.
Yes, come on now.
Because I'm sure they could have went to anybody's house, but they chose hers.
Jermaine, you are a businesswoman and you have a shady past. And there are those who've heard about it and they're quick to tell it and they've judged you. Will you remain a victim of your past or a savvy businesswoman your friends and neighbors know you to be, calling shots and making moves? Or will you let the opinions of others deter you from your goals?
Oh, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it to, first of all, nothing can hurt me. First of all, I'm going to use that as part of my armor. So nothing, because I've been judged, what else can hurt me? Nothing.
Right.
And then I'm going to also use it to gain more skills and gain more insight and use that to my advantage to continue to further myself. Because I'm not going to be tied to my past. I'm not going to drag it with me. It's going to be, part of what shoots me forward.
Right.
That's the way I'm going to use it.
Right. Okay, Veronica.
Use it even better. You can use it more than that. What can you possibly do to me now that's going to hurt me more than what happened to me in my past that I'm using right now?
That's right.
So let me use my enemy as my footstool. Let you help me build myself. You can't do anything else. My past is my past. If you want to keep bringing it up, keep bringing it up. But you see the moves I'm making. So either you're going to boss up like me or you're going to step back and watch. Point blank, period.
Okay, Veronica. Rahab has a business she owns an inn that she bought with the money she earned from her past. Yes, she is still seen as a harlot. What advice do you have for today's Rahab, who is struggling to be that round peg in a square world?
You got drug dealers in this world that have used that money, that illegal money that they made, regardless of whether they were using, they were selling drugs to help their family or using it just to make some money, that decided, hey, I'm going to go legit. I got all this money. And they take that money and they flip it and they become business owners. She did the very same thing. So what's the difference? She used the money that she made, however she made it, to become a businesswoman. That's how the world revolves. That's how it works. Jay-Z was a drug dealer. He's a businessman right now. You see what I'm saying? So what? Everybody has those people in their neighborhood that they know that grew up with them, that was drug dealers, that now own businesses because, hey, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep, you know, for one, they're trying to get away from their legal woes. They're trying to make their money legal, but everybody does it. So why is it so bad? Because she did it as a female. Okay, so what? She had good intentions. She did what she needed to do.
I'm looking at this as far what I'm getting from you is that everybody is an ex something.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is an ex something.
That's
because that's the reason why my Lord and Savior Jesus was born. Because he knew everybody was an ex something. In order for them to be saved, he had to be born. So if you feel like you're not an ex something, then you probably feel like you have no need for God. And that's a dangerous place to be.
That's the way to look at it.
But as my mom used to say, or that she says now, and the older ladies in my family say, keep living.
Keep living. Yes.
Keep living. You'll be an
keep living. Yes.
And then you will realize that there's a source bigger than you that you have to go to.
That's true.
Because that part of Rahab, because of this is happening to her, that made her become part of Jesus' lineage. Through Matthew, she became part of his lineage. Look at that. Who can say, yeah, Jesus was my nephew or my great-great-granddad? Like,
great-grandson.
I'm over here like Jesus.
Right.
She could claim him. You get what I'm saying? I mean, we get it through the blood. Don't get me wrong. I got it. I'm in there. But she can actually say, you know, she became part of Jesus' lineages. And a harlot. A harlot? Okay. So who are we to judge? Who are we to judge?
I guess the other part for that for me is I knew what he had in his plan. He knew what it was. So it's not when he set it up that way. I have something I want you to do. Right. But in order for you to do it, you have to go through this to get where I need you to be right now. So it was in his plan. So why is she being judged? Because he made it that way. He wrote it that way. I want this to happen because she needs to do this. But before she can do this, this has to happen, and she has to be able to overcome it and move around these different obstacles to get to this point where I need her to be, because I have something I want her to do.
And because of that, she's part of Jesus' family's tree.
Yeah.
That part.
Minister Cotton, what should Rahab's of today do with that rumor? Should she conform to the norm, being who they say she is, or stay unique, becoming the woman she was meant to be?
She should strive to be the woman that she should be, not what she used to be. Now, we've all been something in our past growing up, some things that we're not proud of that we've done. But we strive to do better. When we know we can do better, we do better. But you have to want to, you have to be a willing subject to do better. And once you make up in your mind that you do better, that you want to do better, you can do better. And then you would take the necessary steps to accomplish who you really want to be. You can be, like we tell some of our children when they're growing up, and you put this in their heads to let them know You can be the president of the United States. You can be something legit. Make something legit of yourself because it's on the inside of you. God has put something on the inside of each and every one of us to have a will to do better, to become more than the negativity say that we and seek.
Seek his counsel.
There's different ways you can go about, you research, you go about, first of all, like I said before, you make up to know who you are. And when you realize who you are and who you want to become, you can be that.
Nobody can put anything out about you. So you're going to feed into it because somebody said you're a harlot or you're this or you're that. Did you see me do this? Right. Or you heard? Right. Don't come back to me with something you heard. If you don't know it to be fact, don't come to me with that. You have to learn how to let stuff kind of roll off because it's going to constantly be something. So if you let that bother you, then the next thing that's going to come because they see you doing better than them is going to come. And then you're going to let that bother you. And then you're going to lose focus on what you're supposed to be doing. It's going to always be something. You know what you're supposed to be doing. But, okay, so you heard what? Don't come to me with what you heard. Did you see it? Do we talk? Do I even know you? Oh, okay. That's just my opinion. I don't even know you. And you coming to me about something somebody told you I did or told you I said.
Right.
Hello, you know me how? What's my real name? You see what I'm saying? So whatever. You have to look at it in different ways. You can maneuver around it so many different ways. But don't let it get to you just because somebody said. Somebody's going to always say it. This person said. That person said. Your family said.
Yeah.
This. Do you pay my bills? You take care of my kids? You taking care of my business? Are you doing my books? Do you know how much money I make? No, you don't. Move around. Keep it moving. Bye-bye.
All right, Nina. You just met these people and you did them a favor. And the only thing they have to say is you're a harlot. They don't know you and have never met you or anyone that know you. What's up with that? Why can't a woman just live down her past?
Because you're doing something they're not doing. They have their past. They don't know how to deal with their past.
I'm sorry.
Let me go ahead and focus on you and get the light off me.
Nina. I'm sorry, Mrs. Wormley, but this is for Nina Rose.
My bad.
Oh, you know what? Run with it, Ms. Wormley. I'm gonna jump in. Go ahead. Let's do double.
All
right.
Go ahead. Finish.
I'm just saying, you. Lord Jesus.
I understand. Let it out.
You can't. You don't know me like that.
Right.
You have your past, so you're gonna focus on me to try to keep the light off of you and what you've done. Because if I keep it on her, they're not gonna know that I did this, that, and the third.
True.
So if I keep talking about her, they're not gonna focus on me.
That's true.
I'm that person. I'm sorry. I'm petty. But didn't you? And I know you did because I saw it. So if you want to go there, we can go there. You want to put me out there, I'll put you out there. Or you can be the bigger person. And I've been known to be the bigger person and not put your business out when I know all your business and say, you know what? You're right. Because now people are looking at you differently because wait a minute, she's not even responding to any of this. Like, y'all still talking about her. She's not responding. So this is what I'm going to do. Let me go. I need to go look. Oh, that's who she is? What'd she do? So now you done put the limelight on me some more. Thank you. Because now people are paying attention.
Yeah.
Because you keep talking. Okay, you keep talking about this woman, but she's not responding to you, but you're still thinking about her. Let me go see who she is and why she's so important to you. Thank you.
Well, I'm gonna jump in right there. So Rahab was known for what she was known for. She did not deny her past.
I love that about her.
She stayed true to what she knew. And by her doing that, that still did not mean that God could not use her. That still meant that she did not have hope for a better life. Because you can be in your mess and still have hope. And hope is what brings you out. So, you know, I will just say to Rahab, Regina, what the question you was asking is for her to keep walking, keep moving forward, and to grasp hold to hope. All of us, and if you don't have it, talk to someone who can inspire you.
And why can't she live down
you don't
her
know
path?
where to go? You know what? Just sometimes just sit down and be still. Just be still and think and start looking at things around you. God speaks to you through nature. He speaks to you through others. He speaks to you through your children, through your friends, your family. He is speaking to you. So you'll grasp hope if you sit down and be still long enough. But that doesn't mean that Rahab did not own who she was. She did. And everybody knew who she was because that's why the king of Jericho went straight to her house. When he said he spies somewhere, he went straight to her house. But at the same time, she made a decision in that moment to not give them up.
But why can't she just live her life without all of this? Why can't she just live her life?
Jealousy.
The spies were jealous. So you saying the spies were jealous of Rahab?
No. Jealousy, period, all the way around. Because obviously it was something that is seen in her. Like she's doing all of this and they feel like it's illegal or it's things that she shouldn't be doing. But she's blessed in what she's doing. Why her? Jealousy.
Today's Rahab encounters a lot of narrow-minded people who just cannot forgive the past. But she has to just go on and be like, you live in my yesterday. I'm glad you want to stay stuck there. But I'm going to live in my today. So I do agree with you, jealousy, but I also think that just feeling like they were better than her also.
People go through that even in their families. So what do? Are you going to sit back and just ball up in your shell because your family feels like your past makes you less than they are? Because here's the thing. They still may see your past, but again, me personally, it may be that whole jealousy thing because she did this in her past and she did, and I ain't never did none of that. But she doing better than me. So it's that feeling of let everybody remember what you did so I can feel better about me and what I have going on. So I did everything I was supposed to do. I did it this way. I did it the right way. She did it this way, and I think she did it wrong. She did some things, strange for some change. And look at her. She doing better than me. Why? So I'm going to let everybody at this table know, oh, girl, remember when you... To take the light and shine it on you in a negative way. Yeah, I remember when I did, but look where I'm at now.
Nowhere in the Bible did God call Rahab a harlot, yet she is known as a harlot. Check this out. The king of Jericho asked her nicely to tell him about the spies, and the captain of the army took her word on which way they went when they had actually gone in another direction. Now, the word Zonah means prostitute in Hebrew, but it also means one that cooks or owns an inn in Canaanite language. Could it possibly be that the spies started this rumor because in their tongue, Zona meant harlot? Could this be a case of misinterpretation?
I'm going to reach over to Tasha and ask Tasha to kind of feed in on this, because I know her to be the type of person to understand language and definition of language and how it can be interpreted. Tasha, pick that up. You got this, I know.
Absolutely. There was complete opportunity for misinterpretation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I teach 8th grade. I've been teaching in some form or capacity for 20 years, and you play telephone with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You have a conversation with your friend, and they'll say, I thought you said, you listen to someone sing a song that you both like, and you're like, girl, what did you just sing? Those are not the words. It's very easy to misinterpret what was said, but what's most important was your opening line. God didn't call it that. I don't care what you say. I'm reminded of Ecstasy from Houdini, rest in peace. The opening line of their song Big Mouth, well, not the opening line, but one of the lines in one of the first verses, he was like, you can say what you want, just spell my name right.
Mm-hmm.
Because people gonna talk.
That part.
They just gonna talk. And so you can't do anything about it. I'm also reminded, because I'm gonna always take it to some jams, of my friend Bobby Brown in Prerogative. Why can't I just live my life without all the things that people say? Y'all can sing that later. Because that's people are going to people. That's not original. I see you, Jermaine. That's not original. That's from my boy Mike Love. People gon' people. He said it a little more colorfully, but people gon' people. And so you have to then develop the fortitude, the thick skin to say, okay, like Veronica said, do you pay any of my bills? We talk about the things we do as women, the hardships we overcome. I had all kind of stuff said about me when my ex-husband bought me a BMW, or when we broke up, or when I bought this house. And then one of y'all gave me $20 on a light bill. So I'm gonna just move on. I don't care what you think. My family has a saying, it's probably inappropriate, but I use it often. When I want your opinion, I'll beat it out of you. And I'm gonna pass it back to
me. Nina, you piggybacking?
Yeah. Interpretation, I think meant nothing to Rahab. I think when it came down to it, it was about the end game, which I think for every person, it should be about your end game. They asked her, when she decided to help someone, reposition someone, and to have hope to move forward in her life, which we're all walking to move some sort of direction, whether you're going forward or backwards. There's this point where you decide to either, to make it to the next level, right? So she made a decision to go to the next level. And when she did so, regardless on what title they gave her, they told her to have like a red scarlet scarf, and place it in her home, so that when it goes down, when it was going to go down, because it's going to go down, everybody's life got that point where it goes down. You get what I'm saying? Whatever your battle is and your wars are, it's going to be that point. So you got to know your end game. She knew her end game. God gave her covering for her end game because she knew who to go to. And at the end, regardless on what she was, I guess you can say, what people called her, like you said, Tasha, they call you whatever they want to call you, they can call you that. But at the end, she was a survivor. Because the garment that was placed over her renamed her. It gave her a whole new identity. So everyone else who gave her all the names of prostitute, she's a Canaanite, she's a harlot, whatever they want to say, because she's here in Jericho with us, she was still covered. God gave her covering. She was protected.
Yes.
And she was basically renamed. And that's what happens in your life. Because if you go back and look at your friends and family, you go through so many different stages in your life, and you are renamed at each stage. And we have new identities, and we kind of hold on to who we were originally, but we build on that. So I would tell today's Rahab, continue to build on who you are. Don't be caught up in what someone call you, what they label you as. Look for your covering, because you can receive it if you ask for it. And then once you get that covering, take peace in that, because she took peace in her covering.
Right.
And I'm sure when she heard them walls fall, she looked up at the covering she had and knew that she was gonna be okay. And she was.
I think that another piece that might be missed, people may miss, it's subtle, but it's there. When you talked about the red scarlet, I'm reminded of her of us being covered by the blood.
Yes.
Absolutely analogous. Absolutely analogous. So, absolutely. And we are renamed. I think we talked about together at another time that when God made the plans for our life, he included all of the things that were going to happen, the good steps, the missteps, the errors, the actions of others. God knows what he's doing. I don't, but he does.
That is so true. Kathy, how key is understanding, and how do you overcome a bad rumor?
I would say understanding is important. I'm not sure it is totally key, because understanding means that you comprehend. And we know that there are persons that at times they don't comprehend. So basically we would be saying, well, you're just not understanding. But when it comes to how long, well, the second part of that of the question was, how do you overcome a bad rumor? And of course, we've got to remember, pardon me?
Go ahead, you have the floor.
Did you say something, Virginia?
No, I did.
Oh, I'm sorry. How do you overcome a bad rumor? What we got to remember about a rumor is that it could be something made up. It could be something somebody just suspects, or something that somebody saw, or something that somebody told someone. And of course, we've all heard the story, and I hope I can say it right, about if you start a sentence, you say a sentence, and you tell the next person, something's gonna get added. You tell another person, something's gonna get dropped out and another piece is gonna be added. Well, that's the same thing with a rumor. First of all, you don't know where it came from. It's similar to what Veronica said. If you didn't see it happen, you know nothing. You don't know what you're talking about. So that's what I would say about understanding, and then with the part about the rumor. But basically, it's almost like what I said previously. First of all, you ignore them. You ignore that noise, because what we all need to know is, even though God is love and we are to love everybody, we are commissioned to love everybody. Everybody's not gonna love us. And that's just a fact, because if everybody loved everybody, we wouldn't have half of what's going on in the world around us, okay? So you ignore it and you dismiss that noise that's surrounding you. You don't even let it get into your ear. You stay prayerful and stay with the plans that God has for you, because he's gonna direct you anyway. All you got to do is listen, but you got to be listening to the right thing.
That's true.
Miss Kathy, if everybody loved each other, Jesus wouldn't have to die on Calvary.
Okay. And I mean, that's just significant of how far back it goes. So, I mean, what we're going through now is almost the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. So, I don't personally, I don't spend a lot of time with rumor. I don't spend a lot of time. As a matter of fact, I have some people that I know, when they come to me and they start a conversation, if they call somebody's name other than mine or theirs, I'm almost turned off. I'm completely turned off, because it's something that I probably don't want to hear.
So, but we can't let the noise of the world and the noise of other people get into our heads and dictate how it will make us act, because eventually, if you listen to enough of that noise, you're going to behave in some way that's probably unbecoming.
That's so true. So true, so true. Well, potato, does it matter? Should it be the same, Veronica? Is Rahab one man's junk, the spies, or another man's treasure, the king and his army? And how should she see herself?
I don't think she was anybody's junk, and I don't think she was anybody's treasure. She is who she is. She was an asset to both. Each side needed her in some type of way. So one needed her positively, the other one, used her negatively. She was an asset to both sides, but in the end, she still came out on top, regardless. It is what it is. So you can try to make it out to whatever you want to make it out to be.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it is. Like Tasha said earlier, I'm going to answer to the name God gave me, not the one you gave me. Okay, you can call me whatever you want to call me. You can call me anything else. My name is Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm going to answer to. So if that's how you see it, okay. I still came up either way.
As a Bible scholar, you're trained in the importance of getting the words right. So, Minister Cotton, what do you do when you're one thing in someone's eyes and everyone sees you as something else, maybe garbage or trash? How do you even handle that? How will Rahab even deal with that whole situation?
Well, I like the subject that you just talked about, the junk and the treasure. It all depends on how you see yourself. If someone sees you as discarded, worthless, and what have you, I like the part where one man's junk is somebody else's treasure. And I look at like Rahab. She might have been considered as being discarded and worthless or used or a harlot, whatever you want to call it. But I look at what people do when they find somebody else's junk, when they go around digging in somebody else's garbage and they get somebody else's stuff that they had discarded and they take it home and they shine it up, they polish it up. They make it brand new, put new knobs on it and paint it and do all kind of things, put sparkles on it, make it brand new, just like it just came out from manufacturers, and that's how I see Rahab or anybody, the Rahab of today. If you're considered as somebody else's junk, just keep on, like they say, keep on living, keep on pushing, and show them what God would do for you, that he can renew you, he can remake you, he can reset you, he can repair you, he can refurbish you, he can make you brand new where you can go forth and you can shine in front of their eyes, like say, hey, you call me what you want. Hey, but look at me now. God has brought me from a mighty long way. I'm not like I used to be. I'm like, I look at me now. Check me out. You were so busy talking about me, calling me all kind of names, calling me all out of my name. But hey, I'm God's treasure right now. He bought me with a price of the blood of Jesus, honey. Now look at me now. Now watch me walk. Watch me strut on the cross in front of you and then say something about me. You're going to talk about me either way it goes, but I want you to talk about me in the right way now. Check me out and forget about the past.
That's right. Well, thank you, Reverend. Okay, Tasha.
One of my favorite things that Cheryl Brady said, somebody will take your losing hand and win with it. You just don't know how to play it.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking
Everybody
about.
is going to be everybody's going to be that ugly duckling that everybody talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to look up one day like, what wait a minute.
What happened? Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's basically in my head what I see as far as Rahab
Mm-hmm.
is concerned. She was that ugly duckling, but because everything was still happening in her favor, it's like, okay, well, wait, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
You thought that was going to always be me. You thought she was going to be able to keep your foot on my neck.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, didn't happen the way you thought it was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Watch me sparkle.
Mm-hmm.
So I sneeze glitter.
Come on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So while I'm sneezing glitter,
Mm-hmm.
you over here looking at me like, well, why is she sparkling like that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I got sun rays following me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hate all your life.
With you. Mm-hmm.
All right.
What God meant for, what the devil meant for evil, God would turn it into good. You know, and he has a script for each and every one of us. He knows the ending before the beginning. So we have to go in between and progress to that ending that he's already made for us. So whatever it might be, however you see me, I'm a vessel of the Most High King. And like she says, sparkle, glitter, shine, let the stars shine down on me. Lord, let your light shine on me. Show these people what they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, I know what I used to be, but look at me now.
Yes. All right, Tasha. There's a language barrier, and Rahab is in a particular situation. She has a decision to make, her countrymen or her life. But the spies see her as trash, but she needs them. Tell today's Rahab how to handle this awkward situation when you know someone thinks very little of you, but you need that person to better your life.
You take what you've been dealt, even if it's the negative opinion of others, and you work it to however you need to work it so that you and yours can make it to the next chapter. We don't cut off our nose to spite our face. I don't like her. I ain't talking to her. I ain't dealing with her. She sucks, blah, blah. Okay. All of that may be accurate, but I'm going to do, we do this. We navigate this oftentimes at work, right? Or in ministry. Ooh. Where we're dealing with people who we know don't get down with us. Yeah. We still have to do what we have to do, whether that's getting God's word out, whether that's feeding our family, whether that's working, whatever we have to do on whatever project. We navigate this kind of thing all the time. So I ain't gotta like you. You know, I love you with the love of the Lord, but we ain't gotta hang out. And so in this case, she needed to do what she needed to do so that she could survive. I would say to today's Rahab, or to anybody, honestly, do what you need to do to survive. If we talk about this alleged post-racial climate, we may say that to people when we encounter corrupt police officers. Be quiet. You're right, but you're not going to litigate the situation out in the street because you may or may not make it home. So be quiet. Do what you need to do. Get home so that you can stand and fight later. Analogous to that is what we need to do in other varied situations. Do what you got to do so you can make it to the next step.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, a lot of our younger generation, like even work-wise, you see what I'm saying? So that's another analogy that you could use. I hate my boss. They get on my nerves, but you need their money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you do what you need to do to get your paycheck, stack your money so that you can do what you need to do and get out of there. But until then, shut your mouth, do what you need to do, save your money so you can get out of there.
Right. We deal with it all the time, and we don't realize we navigate it gracefully. And we'll say, I can't do that. Yes, you can. You just did. You don't have to have the last word. You don't have to do the most, as the kids say. Do what you have to do. Get out of there and then stun on them, as the kids say.
How important is it when people don't give you, and when people give you, let me correct myself. How important is it when people give you an unseemly title? Nina, the spies labeled her, then took that label to the camp. When we're labeled, should we accept it or fight to change it?
The label that they gave her is the same label. Everything that comes along with that label is what saved them.
Mm-hmm.
When they went to her roof, they hid in piles of what?
Flax.
They can only get that from a harlot. They can only get it from her. So what they label her as also saved them, and it saved her too. So I don't know. I'm okay with the labels. I'm okay with everybody not agreeing with what I think I should be labeled. It's okay, because sometimes the label that you gave me be what helped me to get to my next. Because if you, sometimes you can put it like this. Let me go back. You know how you can badmouth someone to another person, and that other person, you think they are agreeing with you. They're not. What they hearing is what you said about that person, and what that goes to our interpretation. So they are interpreting what you're saying. What you are complaining about sounds like gifts to them. They're like, oh, so she has a gift for that. She has a gift for this. I was looking for someone who had those gifts. So what someone is saying about you, how they label you, it ain't none of your business. Let them talk to who they want to talk to. Let them label you how they want to label you. Keep the end game in mind for yourself, because what your mess is sometimes is what people need you to have, so you can help hide them to reposition them so they can go to their next. But at the same time, if she was ashamed of who she was, and if she tried to hide who she was, and she was hurt by the labels, she wouldn't be able to even help them. So it's okay. I don't care about the labels. Interpretation is the whole key. How do you interpret it? How someone else interpret hearing what they heard about you? Because sometimes what they heard about you is what they need and what they was missing, and it brings them closer to you. Right. I know some people who have become really good friends after hearing someone else complain about that person, and they go to that person and say, we have a lot in common. We have a lot in common. You get what I'm saying? Because what she said you were doing really didn't sound bad to me. Those are things that I want to do. Those are gifts or places I want to go. Those are things I want to experience. And I mean, again, use it for everything. What they say, all things could be used or done for my good, for those who love Christ.
Yeah.
So whatever you say, whatever you label, I guarantee you is going to help me.
All right.
So continue.
She said, keep on talking about me.
I'm talking. Like Veronica said, you just put me back on the map. Now you talking about me. Thank you.
Okay. Jermaine, the king of Jericho and his army has shown you the utmost respect. They have known you all your life, but the ones you've helped see you as nothing. Today's Rahab is in the same situation.
Okay, I got two things there. First of all, I know what neither side knows. First of all, as good as the king and the army treat me, I know they finna die. I already know that. I know. But my bad, y'all finna die. And these people over here that's got all this noise to talk about me, but don't know me, you can talk now. Just get me out of here, and I'm gonna show you who I am. What I say. Just get me out of here now. I'ma hide you. You gonna get me out of here. My family gonna be safe.
Yes.
I've already heard about you. You done heard about me. I heard about you. But to me, what I take most is she heard about what their God could do.
Mm-hmm.
So she already knew she knew that already. They didn't know, but she knew. She was like, you did this for them. Hey God, can I get a little bit? Just a little bit. You did the whole people. I just need a couple of people in my family. Can you just get these few little bit of people out of this situation? Because they all finna die and I don't want to be part of that.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, okay, yeah, all right. I'ma hide you. You gonna get me out. We all gonna stay alive. And then I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be because I got delivered. Next.
You talked about me. You dragged me through the mud. Made it seem as if I'm something that I'm not.
Yes.
Gave me all these different names, but guess what? You still needed me.
Mm-hmm.
You still needed me.
Mm-hmm.
You still had to come to me. Talked about me, but you still needed me. So who's winning?
Mm.
So you're talking, but you wouldn't have got where you were if it wasn't for me.
Don't make me sing Rihanna songs.
Exactly. So you need, right, so you needed me. And you're going to keep talking, but you need me. So who's winning?
Good question.
You can't go nowhere without me. You still need me.
Good question. Good
Say
question.
what you want. I'm winning either way. If you can drag me, not drag me, love me, hate me, you still need me.
So it don't matter then what they say.
I don't care what you say. You need me either way, because what you gonna do? Oh, you see, the thing is that you gotta humble yourself enough to come to me for my help. You talked about me. Now you still gotta humble yourself and feel like mess because I gotta go talk to her. I ain't been talking about this woman like she ain't nothing. But look, so I need your help. Can you help me? In my insides, I am giggling because you just talked about me like I was less than nothing. But you still gotta come to me.
Okay, ladies, we're back to the end of the show. I would like for each of you to tell something to Rahab in one sentence. We're going to start with Nina. What would you like to say to Rahab?
Oh, you know what? I would tell Rahab that God uses people with a past. And there's no better place to be than to be in God's hands and be used by him. So instead of you being embarrassed or shame, those things come along with a past. It's okay. But allow yourself to know that there's an end game in mind and allow God to take you there. That's what I would say to Rahab.
Thank you, Nina. Tasha, what would you like to say to Rahab?
Adam and Eve immediately messed up. And God still continued with the human race. That means you're going to mess up too. So keep going.
Okay, Jameen, spill the tea. What are you going to say to Rahab?
You won, girl. You already won.
Yes.
They used you and you won.
I like
Period.
that answer. I like that answer. Okay, Kathy, what would you like to say to Rahab?
I would tell Rahab, keep living, keep doing what you're doing. God uses ordinary people. He can use you, me, anybody at any time. You're an overcomer. You were wonderfully and fearfully made. And if you continue to follow God, you're going to be just fine. Forget your past and don't let anybody ever use it against you.
Thank you. Veronica, talk to Rahab.
Do not let anybody's words bother you. Again, because obviously it's something about you, something that they see in you that is bothering them to the point to where they have to keep mentioning your name. Keep mentioning it, whether it's good or bad, because you don't know what I've done, but you keep talking about me. Please help keep me relevant, because that's what you're doing. So today's Rahab, especially those that are in business, you're keeping me relevant. Thank you. Keep letting those people go ahead to my Facebook, to my business page, to my Instagram. What is she doing? Why is she so important? Because you know what's going to happen? Those same people, they keep talking about her. They're going to keep going back. I don't even want to talk to her, but let me see what she's doing today. I don't even want to know what she's doing today. Now you're striking people's curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
It's free marketing.
It's free advertising and free marketing.
All right, Reverend Cotton. What do you have to say?
I would say, according to 2 Corinthians 5:17, it says, therefore, if any man be in Christ Jesus, he's a new creature. Old things have passed away and all things have become new. So God is not ashamed of you, neither should you be ashamed of you, because you have been redeemed by the blood of the Lamb.
Amen, amen, amen. Well, ladies, we've come to that part of the show where I give my final thought on our topic. Rahab was a child of abuse, but she did not allow her past to keep her a victim. She became a businesswoman who owned her own inn, and it's quite possible she sold clothes. She had heard about Yahweh and all the miraculous things he'd done for his people, and she decided to choose him as her God also. In choosing to save the spies, she had to betray her people, a decision that probably haunted her for years. Today, Rahab is praised for saving the spies, herself, and her family. But sadly, her great deed is tarnished by the actions of her past, a past she could not control. There are many Rahabs that live among us today who've had a bad past and have had to make terrible choices. And regardless of how hard they tried to outrun their past, someone was always running behind them or alongside to bring it up again. We all have the right to change, and no one should be forced to live with yesterday's mistakes. So don't let the opinions of others dictate how you feel about yourself. For today's Rahab, who has endured the pains of yesterday and have gone on to live a better life, and no matter how hard you try, you're still viewed as nothing, I want you to know God chose you to be exactly who you are and where you are. And he knew the issues that you would face. He knew the degradation that you would have to endure at the hands of others. Count yourself blessed to be among others who've had to suffer at the hands of other people in order that they might live. God gave you the strength you needed to get where you are. So don't let the opinions of others deter you from the life you deserve. Live in your peace, my sister, and remember, you may be bruised, but you are not broken. Be blessed. Thank you, ladies, for all of your wonderful and beautiful answers. I enjoyed this show. I enjoyed it tremendously. I look forward to episode 3. Thank you so very, very much.
The host and panelist of Bruised but Not Broken Teatime do not proclaim to be Bible theologians. Rather, they are a group of Christian women seeking to examine the actions of women from the Bible and offer personal perspectives on how these situations apply to women today.
Bruised but not broken, battered not worn. We've been through it all, but we weather the storm. It's all about women empowering us all. We've been through so much, we've taken much more. Women together, much stronger and more. Yeah. Bruised but not broken, battered not worn. We've been through it all, but we weather the storm. It's all about women empowering us all. We've been through so much, we've taken much more. Women together, much stronger and more.